It was just an ordinary night, or at least it was supposed to be. The kind of night where you think everything is fine and you're just enjoying a quiet dinner at home. But you know how life works. It always has a way of shaking things up when you least expect it. I'll tell you, this was one of those nights that changed everything. One simple moment that unraveled everything I thought was in control. And if you're anything like me, you've probably had that moment too. The moment when everything came crashing down, but you didn't see it coming. You know that feeling when everything seems perfect on the outside, but inside, there's this bubbling tension you can't shake off? That's where I was. My husband, Chris, was sitting across from me, looking at me with that familiar, soft smile of his. We were laughing about something silly, sharing a bottle of wine. But deep down, I knew. Deep down, I was a mess, and I couldn't stop the storm that was brewing inside me. You see, there's something you don't know about me. Something that would make this night unforgettable for both of us. I thought I had it under control. I convinced myself I was managing my secret well, that no one, especially Chris, would ever find out about my little extracurricular activities. But as I looked at him, I knew I was lying to myself. It was only a matter of time before everything came crashing down. What I didn't expect was that the very moment I thought was just a peaceful, normal dinner would be the one that ruined it all. It happened so fast, I almost didn't register what had just occurred. 1 second, Chris was reaching for his phone, and the next, the glow of the screen lit up his face. I didn't think much of it at first. It was just a normal thing for him to check his messages during dinner. But then, he froze. Just froze. His eyes widened. His fingers stilled on the phone screen. My stomach dropped. He wasn't looking at me anymore. He was staring at his phone, and I could see his expression change, hardening. Something was wrong. He didn't say anything, didn't make a sound. He just stared at the screen like it was telling him a secret he wasn't prepared to hear. And I felt like my heart had just been yanked out of my chest. "Chris?" My voice barely came out, a weak attempt at breaking the silence. "Is everything okay?" His hand tightened around the phone. The smile that was once there, the one that I'd grown so familiar with, was gone. Replaced by something colder, more distant. Something that sent a shiver down my spine. He didn't look up at me. Didn't respond. My mind raced. What had he seen? What could possibly be on that screen that was making him look at me like that? My body tensed. I had no idea how much time passed, but it felt like hours. My own words started to swirl in my head, words I had spoken to someone else, someone I'd been seeing behind Chris's back. I had been careful, so careful. But now I wasn't so sure. Could he know? "Chris, talk to me," I repeated, louder this time, my voice shaking. He blinked, his eyes flickering from the phone to me. And then he said something that I will never forget. "Who's James?" The world tilted on its axis. My entire body stiffened. The blood drained from my face, and I swear, time stopped. I thought my knees would give out beneath me. How did he know? How did he know about James? I tried to keep my composure, tried to play it cool, but inside I was spiraling. How much had he seen? How much did he know? "James?" I repeated, my voice sounding much too calm for the panic that was rising within me. His eyes were now locked onto mine, no longer the loving gaze he had earlier. No, this was different. This was betrayal, confusion, and something else. A deep, biting hurt. "You didn't think I would find out? You didn't think your secret would come to light?" I opened my mouth to speak, but nothing came out. The truth, the whole ugly truth, was out there now, and I had nothing left to say. How had it all come to this? I had been so careful, so meticulous. But when you're playing with fire, it's just a matter of time before you get burned. The night we had was supposed to be a celebration of us, a quiet moment between a husband and wife. But now it was tainted. It was ruined. And it was all because of me. And now I had to face the consequences. But you're probably wondering, what exactly did he see on that screen? What message made him react like that? I'll tell you. It wasn't just a simple text. It wasn't a casual chat. No, it was a message that cut to the heart of everything I had been hiding. Can't wait to see you tonight. I miss you more than you know. XOXO, James. The words burned into my mind. That was the message that had ruined everything. That was the message that exposed me, left me naked in front of my husband. I had no idea what to say, no way to explain it. Because the truth was simple. I had been unfaithful. I had betrayed him with someone else, someone who was everything he wasn't, someone who made me feel things I hadn't felt in a long time. James. It was meant to be casual, a fling, a temporary escape from the life I had built. But nothing stays secret forever, does it? Nothing remains hidden in the dark for long. Sooner or later it all comes to light. I could see the hurt in Chris's eyes. I could see the trust, our entire marriage, shattering in front of me. And it wasn't just because of one message. No, it was everything that message represented. The lies, the deceit, the hours spent away from him. The nights I spent with James while my husband was none the wiser. "How long?" Chris asked. His voice was low, but there was an edge to it now. A desperation that scared me more than I'd ever been scared in my life. I swallowed hard, trying to find my voice. "Chris, How long, Emma?" I couldn't look at him. I couldn't face him. The guilt was too much. The shame. "A few months," I whispered. His face crumpled at the admission. I saw the weight of my words hit him, and it crushed me in ways I didn't think were possible. I had broken him, and now I had to deal with the wreckage. I had no idea what to do next. I had no idea how to make things right, how to undo the damage I had done. But one thing was clear. Everything had changed. There was no going back. I could see the wheels turning in his mind. He was angry, confused, and hurt. But he was also calculating. He was trying to figure out how to make sense of the chaos I had created. And I wasn't sure I wanted to know where this was headed. Would he forgive me? Could we rebuild what had been shattered? Or was this the end of everything? I could hear the sound of my heart beating in my ears. And I thought about all the lies, all the moments I had spent pretending. And I wondered, was this the price I had to pay for those moments of thrill? Was it worth it? And now, as I sit here telling you this, I have to wonder, what would you have done in my shoes? Would you have confessed earlier? Would you have come clean before the damage was done? Or would you have waited, just like I did, until the truth forced its way out? Because sometimes, the truth is ugly. And when it comes to light, it's like a flood. You can't stop it. You can't hide from it. And when my secret lover's message was exposed to my husband, everything I knew about my marriage, my life, and myself was called into question. And now, I have to live with that truth. And so do you.